Hey guys, and welcome back to the lid shop. Now today we're going to be working on the dyed S13 with the engine problems, and if I say we, I mean of course Job, the true helper of the lid shop.
Is that so?
That's some spitting some lines, but yeah, we're gonna work on the S13. He is gonna do the fuel pump, and that's over here because the fuel pressure wasn't right. It was just fluctuating. It was fluctuating a little bit, so we're putting a new AEM 320 liters per hour fuel pump on there.
340.
What?
It's 340.
No, it's 320.
It's 340.
It's 340, like I said, and we're putting a new filter on there. And while he is doing that, I'm gonna address the little mass airflow sensor issue because the new ECU doesn't use it. And this filter doesn't fit on the pipe, so I got a new filter and I hope it fits, I hope it looks good. Then the intercooler piping, and then I need to do some stuff over here for the new ECU, like the new fuel pressure regulator, intake air temp sensor, and then put the new ECU in there and hope everything works. And I hope I can actually finish the car and start it again in this video because it has been a while. Sorry Jason that it's taking so long, but we're gonna put some hours in and I hope we can finish it.
There was another S13 that was a broken piece of shit that needed addressing, so...
Yeah, that's true, but that was mine, so... I'm not gonna pull all-nighters on this one, sorry Jason, but we're gonna make it work and he's gonna help me out.
He may pull all-nighters if you pay night tax for his hours, just saying.
No, I'm not. No. And the only reason he's helping so that this one is done sooner and then the next one can be done sooner and then his car is on the list, so that's the only reason he's helping. But that's okay, that's fine, I'm using it.
Shut up!
So yeah, we're just gonna put some work on this car and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Is this the first fuel pump that you're changing?
Yes.
It's the first time working on it?
Yeah.
Nice, that gives me trust.
Don't show this to Jason. On the other hand, I think Jason wouldn't do a better job judging from how everything looks on his car.
He hasn't done anything to the car, don't judge him.
That's probably...
It's all the other people before him because every S13 is just a big than S20 owners.
How many crashes do you think this thing has had?
I think at least 4, but minor crashes because, no, I don't know. I don't think it has any crashes.
It's an S13, okay, it's been drifted.
Yeah, mine is 2.
That's the rules.
Mine has crashed twice. And yours?
I don't have an S13.
So just tighten everything up, just put some wires somewhere, just put a little filter on top of it and then put it upside down into the car and then do the lines backwards and then it should work. Proudly show your work. What have you done?
I have replaced the fuel pump, the filter that comes with the fuel pump, this little hose over here. That's basically.
And why is that a new hose?
Because it came with the kit.
Yeah, that's a good one. Always use it because it comes with the kit, but all the hoses are not resistant to E85 and this one is. So if he ever wants to run E85 or next owner, because it's definitely gonna switch owners in the future, because it's a S chassis, but use the little hose that comes with it so you know you're fine in the future with E. Yeah, and always have a look at your tank as well if it's clean, and this one is dirty on the outside but clean on the inside, so that's good. We can put it back and then it should work just fine. It's a few days later because when we put the fuel pump in, which is in right now, everything is connected, everything is good, but we just hung out for a little bit, so I'm gonna work on it again today. And for the people that are gonna bitch in the comments about the little hose on the fuel pump, why it's so long, why we didn't cut it, why would you cut it? That's the other side of the question. Why would you? If you don't have to, it's less work and it's there if you need it. So I know people are gonna bitch about it. I know people are gonna say, oh, just cut it, looks stupid like that, why would you leave it? Why wouldn't you? So yeah, I just wanted to say that. But I'm gonna finish up some stuff and then I think this weekend or next weekend I'm gonna bring it to CBS because I need to do some wiring stuff over there. Because we switched to a standalone and now we need a boost solenoid because first you had a boost controller from HKS that didn't really work that well. So we got a boost solenoid that needs to be wired. We got an air intake temp sensor that's got to be wired. We got the wideband sensor needs to be wired. I need to put the ECU in because I don't think that's already in, but I need to put it in. And I think that that's easier to do at CBS. So we're gonna bring it to CBS this weekend or next weekend. I'm gonna see if the fuel lines are salvageable, because I think we need to change to AN lines because there are old lines and we already changed the line on the fuel pump for E85 in the future. So might as well just do these ones. Not that this car is ever gonna run on an E85, but I don't believe that. But I'm gonna do it anyway because I think these lines are quite dry-rotted, so you don't want that on your fuel lines. And I can mount the boost solenoid because I got the little M3 bolts for that. So I can mount that and maybe put the hood on. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna little fiddling around. I'm just gonna do some stuff. I'm just gonna hang out here, probably turn on the music. And I'll pick you guys up when I got an update. I don't know. Alright, so we got a little bracket here that Job made. Come on, bitch. And he polished it because he wanted to polish it. But we got a little bracket that bolts onto an existing hole on the strut tower. So it just bolts over there. And then the solenoid is going to be here. And we got two holes for the little bolts that have to go through the little holes on the solenoid. So it's going to be sitting like that, and I think it looks quite good, and because it's polished, of course. It's not the most beautiful bracket, but it's good enough. And just like that, it's mounted on the bracket with some bolts. Looks good. Job, you did a good job. Job, you did a good job. And for people wondering what these marks are on my forehead, we had a little party at Job's place. It was the 50th birthday of his mother. And he invited me because I had nothing to do and I like partying, although I don't party that much. And when I go to a party, it's not a if I'm gonna do a handstand, it's a when I'm gonna do a handstand. Because when I'm tipsy, I can do a handstand way better than when I'm sober. But halfway the handstand, I figured out that I wasn't tipsy, I was just completely wasted. So then I tried to hug the floor with my head and elbow. So that's what happened to my head. Good story. Beautiful. And for the rest, I can't really do anything because the lines are indeed dry rotted, so I need to replace them, and I'm gonna do that at CBS. So let's take this car to CBS. Alright, so it's kind of busy here. There are a lot of cars, so I'm just working outside. And right now I'm just gonna put in the new wideband sensor, so I know where the plug is gonna end, where the connector is gonna be, and then I know how long I need to keep that wire, and then I can make another wire for the boost solenoid that's over there, and another one for the intake air temp sensor that I put over there. And then we can just put it in a nice sleeve so it looks nice, and then the wiring stuff is done because the rest of the ECU is plug and play. So I mocked up the wiring loom and I know where my junctions are, so now I can make it completely, put the wires and the connectors on the right place, connect it all, and then put the sleeving on. And then step one is done, and then it's only the fuel lines. Wiring loom is done and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's just a small one, it's nothing special, but looks way better than everything that's in there now, so at least something looks good. So now it's time for the fuel lines, and those are just two little fuel lines with two fittings, so that shouldn't take very long. So the wiring loom is back in and it looks quite nice. Comes out there, and then I don't know if you can see, but there's a piece running over there for the wideband and the boost solenoid, and then we got a wire over here for the intake air temp and the little push lock line for the source of vacuum slash boost. Now fuel lines. So I took off the old fuel lines, and as you can see on this one, they were so dry rotted and old that I needed to cut it to get it off. It couldn't flex anymore, so a good thing we're changing them. Over there you got fuel filter, still need to change that one, and I can get that one on Monday. And I need a new battery because this one is totally dead. I can't recharge it with a special charger, so that's done and gone. Now I need to make an AN fuel line from the bottom and the side of your fuel pressure regulator, and one needs to go over there, and one comes from here, fuel pressure regulator, and back to the tank, and one goes from the filter to the feed. One line is made, now the rest. Alright, fuel lines are done. Over there is the fuel filter, still need to replace it, but I made the lines anyway. And from there it goes up here next to the other one, under the fuel pressure regulator, into the rail, and then from the rail comes out, goes next to the other fuel line over here, and some wires, so it's nice, a thick bundle that goes to the fuel pressure regulator. And look how nice and tight that is, love it. Then it goes through here on the bottom. I don't think you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. So we got an AN line here that goes down to the return of the tank. So now the fuel system is done. Stay there. Fuel system is done. Now I just need to mount the ECU on the right spot and make a little bracket for it so it sits nice. Car is back home and everything is clean, everything is done. You saw the engine bay, all the fuel lines are in, the ECU is on its place, just need to make a little bracket for that. We need to do some small stuff, so I think Job and I are gonna tackle that sometime next week in the evening. And it's just some small stuff, so maybe I'll film it for part 2, because this was part 1, it's the end. Part 2 is going to be the first start and the dyno tune, and maybe the little stuff and shenanigans with Job. But you'll see, make sure to subscribe so you see part 2 and all the other videos, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Damage auto, but